Hi, I'm Joanna Halfhill. I'm a senior physics major who runs track and cross country for West Point. This year I won the Draper Scholarship, which is the Draper Lab at MIT, and it focuses on national defense priority research. So first you have to apply to a school it's a Draper partner school, so I chose Tufts, and I wanted to go to Tufts and study more physics, which is my major here. And I know that Tufts has just a really great STEM background, especially their physics program. And then once I applied to the school, I then applied to the Draper Scholarship itself. Unfortunately, one of those interviews was scheduled for during the Patriot League indoor track meet. So I knew that right away I would have kind of like conflicting schedule going on, so I reached out to the point of contact for the scholarship, and I kind of laid out like, I'm the captain of the track team and I really can't go in person to this interview, so could I do it virtually, and also could we work around like the times that I have to be warming up and racing. And thankfully they're very accommodating, so they let me do it virtually, and they made sure to host the interview before I had to race. I did have to start the Zoom call on the bus to the meet, and I thought it was kind of funny. I was in my full track uniform starting the Zoom call, and I did feel like there was okay, now I'm gonna turn on my scholarship academic persona and do this interview, and then 5 minutes later I'm gonna turn that off and then turn on my competitor racing persona and go do this mile race. But it was definitely a wild ride, but I'm really glad that they didn't discount me just because I'm really involved in sports as well. I've been coordinating back and forth with my research advisor at the Draper Lab and then my research advisor at Tufts, so that I know I'm going to be in a group researching position, navigation, and timing alternatives to GPS in support of national defense priorities and the DoD priorities. And basically, my research that I'm doing right now for West Point with the Department of Physics and Nuclear Engineering is very much in a similar vein. I study and analyze GPS data, and I definitely see this as a building on that and a continuation of that research. The way I envision the Draper Scholarship aligning with my long-term career goals and what I want to do in service to the nation and the Army is particularly giving me more of that subject matter expertise in my field. So I branched Signal Corps, and that's radios, satellites, communication, and networks for the Army. And as a Draper Scholar, I'll be researching position, navigation, timing, communication, alternatives to GPS, because right now, and ever since the Persian Gulf War, the military has heavily relied on our satellite cluster. And with more and more nations becoming actors in space, with new commercial entities sending up thousands and thousands, exponentially more satellites than we've seen in the past 2 decades, that reliance might come to be a vulnerability. So I definitely see my research that I'm going to be doing with Draper directly impacting my future career as a signal officer in helping to enhance the resilience of our communication systems. And more so than that, I think getting the hands-on experience in the lab, getting to work with people who are working on the highest problems of national defense and national security right now will benefit me even further beyond being a junior officer in the Signal Corps, but also coming back in academia. I have a pretty strong desire to come either back to West Point or to some ROTC battalion and be a teacher, and then even become the Dean of West Point way long term. But I think getting exposure to academia past undergrad will be very, very useful to understanding how all that will work. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited for this opportunity. I see it kind of aligning perfectly with the Signal Corps and what I want to do to help the Army improve its communication resilience.